Good lord, that took a long time. Ahoy, landlubbers, it's me, your valiant Captain Vasco. And welcome back to the Normandy, where it's time to make some decisions. Well, more accurately, it's time to take some responsibility for decisions we've already made. As you may know, we were, or I was at the very least, investigating potential love interests, and between sources, one of my friends who watches these videos on occasion and is basically a Mass Effect expert, and user Steinbrecher Bach, I believe is the name. I'll put something up with the correct spelling and my perception of the pronunciation. There you go. Delightful. So, I was informed that the only love interests available in Game 1 are specifically the two humans, so Ashley and Caden, as well as Liara. Why do I always want to call her Lenara? What is that? Is Lenara a thing? If you know, leave a comment. But because, like, Liara's asexual and then there's two humans, somehow that's okay, but none of the others are okay. I was also informed that you can't ever have a relationship with Rex, even if you're, like, a lady shepherd, which seems like an oversight to me. In any case, there's enough about other things. Let's get on with the business of crew, and hopefully getting down to business, if you catch my meaning.
Oh, before I go, you said you're serving with Commander Shepard now? We saw him on the news here. He's cute. Later, sis.
She thinks I'm cute.
Tell me you didn't hear that.
Sorry,
Afraid I did.
Oh, shoot me now. One of my sisters. That's Sarah, the youngest.
Oh.
What's up? You didn't come by to eavesdrop on family mail.
There's many of her and one of me. No, wait, that doesn't work that way. That's different and vaguely creepy. So, why am I here? To make small talk, obviously.
Your family seems to be important to you.
Yeah, we've always been close. Me and my sisters especially. With Dad on duty so much, I had to help Mom raise them.
Must be nice? What a weird thing. So, continue to ask if you're close with your family, I guess.
After helping raise them, your sisters still talk to you? Amazing.
Things were tense between Sarah and me for a while. Then we bonded.
Tell me about it literally?
Sounds like a story. Feel like sharing?
Sarah got herself a boyfriend who wanted to go faster than she did. Mike.
Mike.
I didn't think he was a bad kid, just pushy. Lynn would send me these worried vid mails, and I'd tell her to relax.
Vid mails? Technology I don't understand with my 20th century frame of reference. Why is there literally a dialogue option that says no means no? That seems like the kind of guy I am, I guess.
If he really liked her, he wouldn't be pushy.
Yeah, of course. If he didn't ask at all, I'd wonder if he thought Sarah was ugly. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Mike thought they'd go for a romantic walk in the woods, because he figured it was past time they did the deed. She levered Mike face first into a tree and left. Didn't have a scratch on her. Good thing Mom and Dad had us all learn some kind of self-defense. I took emergency leave and walked Sarah to school for a few days.
Let's see. Was there repercussions for beating up a strange guy in the woods?
Did anything happen while you were home?
My last day out, Mike was waiting for us. Sarah had told her friends, so everyone at school knew what he did. He wasn't happy. I wanted to snap him in half, but Sarah gave me this look, this let me handle it, I need to do this alone look. She kept her cool, God bless her, as he screamed in her face. She just let him vent. Then he tried to punch her. I swear, she just flowed around him. Next thing I knew, he's face down on the sidewalk, and there's blood everywhere.
Sidewalk? This is the future. Oh, maybe it was one of those sweet Jetsons moving sidewalks, like those things you see at the airports. Love those things. They're really pointless, though. Wow, I guess, because these are basically rehashing details of the story I already know.
That's unbelievable. Sarah must be as good as you.
Better. I'm more or less a straight-up puncher. When he swung, she wasn't there anymore, and he fell. She helped him stop the bleeding and had me call an ambulance, She told the paramedics he fell. Before they took him to the hospital, Mike touched Sarah's arm. I thought he was gonna end up on the ground again. But he hung his head, whispered, "I'm sorry," and started crying. And she hugged him. The Williams women are a decisive bunch, Commander. We do things when we're ready. Not before, not after.
Well then, that's intimidating. That was pointless? What a weird reaction. This one, more background.
Where was your father during this? Wasn't your family stationed near him?
Dad always wanted to serve in space, but he wanted us to have real ground under our feet. He'd say, space is beautiful, but you can't raise a family there. I cannot rest from travel. I will drink life to the lees. All times I've enjoyed greatly, have suffered greatly, both with those that loved me and alone.
Huh?
For always roaming with a hungry heart, much have I seen and known, cities of men and manners, climates, councils, governments.
Bored now? What is this crap? Man, there are some truly great options in this dialogue tree. I'm not regretting... I mean, like, I will admit this. I'm disappointed that Talia's not an option, because I think she's just the most interesting character of all the crewmates, and I figured, like, a romantic thing would lead to, like, extra background in that regard. But that's a future problem, I guess. I mean, I do find Lady Jenkins to be an interesting choice in terms of, like, the game. And my thinking here, since I've been trying to go about this whole game with, like, a sort of role-playing perspective, is that we've already seen that she's, like, sort of a racist, and she's kind of, like, a tough girl. So, like, my thought is that I'm attracted to her, or Shepard is, and, like, he feels like he can, like, fix her or whatever. So, like, now that we're on this path, I'm gonna be more critical when she says, like, terrible things, and we'll see how that works out. Probably terribly, but that was ultimately the goal when I set out on this, was to be a character who ended up resolving things in horrible fashion. So, let's see. For the purpose of this argument, I think, I don't know that I think of Shepard as a poetry guy. I certainly don't recognize this thing. I sort of, like, you could tell it's poetry, but, like, I don't know, it gives her more of an excuse to talk about it.
I never thought I'd hear you reciting poetry.
Just because I can drill you between the eyes at 100 meters doesn't mean I can't like sensitive stuff. Just don't spread it around. Ulysses was my dad's favorite poem. Every time he shipped out, he recorded me reading it. He had a dozen versions when he retired.
Does he still like it?
I sure hope so. I read it to his grave every time I go home. Dad passed on a few years back. He's probably still watching, though. So behave.
So behave, she says. Good lord. See, I'm concerned. If this was sincere, this would seem like the right thing to say. But I'm pretty sure that since it's the lowest right option, that it's sarcastic and it's gonna come across wrong. Because that always seems to happen, no matter how many times I think it's an exception. This...
You mean from wherever we go after death?
Dead on, Skipper. He's with God now. That's not a problem with you, is it? That I believe in God?
Oh, well, this is an interesting one. Some character building stuff. I do think it's kind of interesting that there are a couple options in this game that are sort of like, you get to actually, like, present information about Shepard rather than him just sort of like, you know, having like a stock background. You know, you get to pick, like, that one, like, infamous incident in his past, but that's about as far as I would have expected that to go. I'll be honest. I believe in God. I think that's... I think it's weird that people don't. I don't, like, judge atheists or agnostics, but, like, there's so much world that it's so improbable. And now there's space world, too, so, like, gotta come from something.
You know that old saw, there's never an atheist in a foxhole? I've been in a lot of foxholes.
Yeah, I guess you have. I've met a few people who were really weirded out by my faith. Because I work in space, I can't believe in a higher power? Jeez. Hello, have you people looked out the window? How can you look at this galaxy and not believe in something?
That's spooky.
I should get back to my duties. Didn't mean to take up so much of your time.
How are we doing? Is that... Yeah, let's try this.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Not sure I buy Dr. Tassoni's story about her and her mom not talking. They're family, right?
I mean, like, not all family is functional. I mean, even your family's not, is like a little bit dysfunctional just because of your dad's busyness, I guess.
I think she's being straight with us. Or at least, I don't think she lies very often.
Yeah, she's probably really bad at it. Too bad those ruins got destroyed. I mean, they lasted thousands of years. That's impressive.
I should go, I guess.
We'll talk later, Williams.
Looking forward to it, Skipper.
Plus 56 points. What a weird number of points. Got all of our lockers. Hey, Rex, been a while.
So, we've got Saren on the run.
Do we now? We've already talked about the genophage was it the Geth who did that? I think it was the Geth. And then the extinction is because of the genophage, which is the disease as people were engineered to have. So, yes.
It won't be long now. Saren's good, but I'm better.
Good. He's rotten. To the core. I could tell as soon as I met him.
That's an interesting turn of events.
Why didn't you tell me this sooner?
I would've if I thought it was important.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
I'll decide what's important. Now tell me how you know Saren.
This was a while ago. A bunch of mercs were bragging about a job out near the edges of the Terminus systems.
Did they put up a
They
fight?
said it paid well and the boss was never around to ride them. They said he was looking for more men, too. So I checked it out.
I didn't know Saren was openly recruiting mercs.
It wasn't that open, and he only showed his face once. We'd been raiding ships in the area for months when we took out this massive cargo freighter. Our biggest haul yet. I was on board checking bodies for valuables, looking for some extra credits. That's when I saw him.
You just leave at that point in the conversation. Oh, that seems significant. I'll talk to you later. What was he doing? Was he also rummaging for change?
What did Saren want with the ship?
I don't know what he wanted. He was just moving through the ship, watching. Couple of the mercs called him by name, but he never spoke to them. Never spoke to anyone. I had a really bad feeling about him, so I got the hell out. Didn't even wait to get paid.
Ship?
Whose ship was it?
There was a Volus trading vessel. Big one. Lots of guards. But they were no match for us.
Other thing?
What kind of cargo was the freighter carrying? What was Saren after?
I don't know. All I saw on that ship was food and medical supplies. There were some basic weapons, but nothing big. If there was anything of value on that ship, I didn't see it. That's why I didn't mention it sooner.
No news over here, so that's it?
That's the only time you saw him?
Yeah. Didn't even know who he was. Still wouldn't if I hadn't joined up with you. But my instincts were right. Every other merc on that mission turned up dead within a week. Every damn one.
So, like, I feel like you must be on his kill list, right?
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
A casual conversation. So that, like, megalomaniac who's trying to destroy the universe, he killed a bunch of people who have the same history as you. Alright, see you later. So weirdly casual here on the Normandy. Alright, what's up with you, Garrus? Talking button?
Commander, good to see you.
Ooh, personal questions.
You've been with CSEC a while. Have you seen much action?
Well, not as much as you, but yeah, I've seen some interesting things.
I'll bet you have. Anything in particular that stands out?
I remember the Solarian geneticist I was sent to investigate. That case was a bit disturbing.
These both basically mean the same thing. Metal Gear?
What happened? Why were you investigating them?
I was tasked with tracking black market trade on the Citadel. Most of it harmless, nothing I needed to pursue. But during the course of my investigation, I noticed an increase in the trade of body parts, organs mostly.
That's cool.
We usually get a few of those, but not the numbers I was seeing. We weren't sure if there was a new black market lab or if some freak was harvesting organs from citizens.
Bet you get that all the time.
You've seen this before on the Citadel?
Every so often, some lab sells unwanted parts through the black market, but they're not as bad as the cycles. I remember this one Elcor diplomat we caught in my first year on the job. He was hacking people up and selling their organs, had the station in a bit of a panic. But this case wasn't that clear-cut. Turns out there was more going on than we first realized.
I don't understand. How can an Elcor be responsible for that? They're like the Eeyores of the galaxy. Also, chopping people up seems to take way more activity than Elcor are capable of. At least from what we've seen so far. What did you
So
find?
how did you figure out what was happening?
First, we got a hold of a sample and ran DNA tests. The weird thing was, the match led us to a Turian who was still alive and was very convinced he'd never lost his liver. After a bit of digging, I discovered this Turian worked briefly for Dr. Salion, the geneticist. So I went to his lab hoping to find evidence of cloned organ development, but there was nothing. No Solarian hearts, no Turian livers, not one Krogan testicle.
Krogan testicles is a dialogue option? What is happening today? Let's try it.
You're kidding, right? Why would anyone want Krogan testicles?
Some Krogan believe that testicle transplants can increase their virility,
Weird.
counteract the effects of the genophage.
Double
It doesn't
weird.
work, but that doesn't stop them from buying. They'll pay up to 10,000 credits each. That's 40,000 for a full set.
Actually quadruple weird.
Somebody's making a killing out there.
Somebody's making a killing, you say? Interesting choice of words. So what happened?
What did you do about the geneticist?
I brought in some of his employees for interrogation to see if I could get them to talk. While I was interviewing one of them, I came across something suspicious.
Interviewing in air quotes or something?
You mean threaten? Was that really necessary?
Maybe, maybe not. Either way, it paid off. One of my detainees started bleeding profusely during the interview. We offered to patch him up and he got frantic, freaked out. I ordered a full exam to find out what was going on. Our medics found incisions all over his body, some of them fresh. That was our big break. These people weren't just Dr. Salion's employees. They were test tubes. Walking, living test tubes.
Well, my instinct was that's gross, so sure.
He was growing parts inside these people?
Exactly. He cloned their organs right inside their own bodies. Then he harvested them and sold them off. Most of the victims were poor. He'd pay them each a small percentage of the sales, but only if the organs were good. Sometimes an organ wouldn't grow properly, so he'd just leave it in them. Most of them were a mess, but only on the inside, hidden so nobody could see it.
Did you interview him? I assume that has the same air quotes around it.
I hope he got what he deserved.
That's the worst part. We never caught him.
What?
Why not? What the hell happened?
He ran, blew his lab, grabbed some of his employees, and headed for the nearest space dock. By the time I found out, his ship was already leaving. He threatened to kill his hostages if we tried to stop him.
What? Again?
But you went after him anyway, right?
I ordered Citadel Defense to shoot him down, but CSEC headquarters countermanded my order. They were worried about the hostages, worried about civilian casualties if the ship was destroyed so close to the Citadel. I told them those hostages were dead anyway. He just used them to make more organs, but they wouldn't listen.
I mean, he's probably right. That guy does not seem like a reasonable person, and so he'd probably keep doing his gross science experiments. That said, it's probably not actually a great idea to try and, shoot down a ship full of hostages, but I feel like some action was necessary. I'm just gonna go with middle ground on this thing.
Well, you can't get them all.
No, but letting him get away like that, All they had to do was disable that ship, stop him from running. Maybe the hostages die, maybe they don't, but at least we stopped the bastard responsible for it all.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
I suppose I can see both sides. But what's done is done.
I suppose. Can't waste too much time worrying about it now. Just wish I could have stopped him. That's all.
Do you know where he is now?
Do you have any idea what happened to Dr. Salion?
I sent out feelers from time to time, hoping to find something. I thought I'd found him a while back. He changed ships and changed his name to Dr. Hart. His
Lol.
idea of a joke, I guess. I told the military, but they weren't convinced it was him. I got the transponder frequency for his new ship, but I just can't get anyone to check it out.
Ooh, I want that.
I'll check out the coordinates when I get a chance.
I was hoping you'd say that. But Commander, take me with you when you go. If it's Salion, I want to be there when you find him.
Ooh, sounds like we found ourselves a nice, juicy future mission. We may take that on next time, but I think I'd like to complete our second round of chatting with the crew. I think Tally may be the only one left. I'll go over that in my head between episodes. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I've had a lot of fun with the goofy dialogue stuff today. Next time we'll probably also have to talk to this guy. I'm sure there's some new equipment or something. So, thanks for watching. Next time, more talking. See you for that.